Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Right, so today I've already done something and we're going to do something else. So the first thing that I did for KSCRAFT is the butterflies. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you know, what can you say? I haven't poked those bits out yet. You get these great layers and you get the base layer, so you can use this in 3 different ways if you want to. So I'm going to be able to fully measure now that I've made some, and I just had some fun. So I cut out different weights of cardstock. That one's origami paper. This one I think is my favourite, because I just love that little image with the butterflies going on in the background there. And then I did this one. I got a bit carried away. I glued the body on crooked, but you can see it's just absolutely gorgeous. I did one in pink. I did one in pale blue. I did a plain one with no trim, just to show you, and the apertures that it leaves behind are fabulous as well. And I did a turquoisey and black one, so I had some great fun with those, and I am going to be using bits and bobs that I make on my projects this week. So those are the butterflies. I'm just scooting them together and I'm going to do a measurement for you. So we're going to go from the top of the wings, because those are the widest points, and I'm going to go along there, and it is 2 7/8 of an inch. They are absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if my camera's going to play up or what, but I just love them. Really, really lovely, very detailed. So I'm moving those out of the way now, because we are going to be making these, because we're going to do a project tomorrow and do a twist on something that KSCRAFT sent me, because I always like to try and show that once you've done something with something, you can also do something else. So we're just going to get some flowers done in a very quick way today, and I'm going to put down my scruffy mat. I've got my big one. Yeah, me being organised. So here is my biggest scruffy mat, which covers everything. I've got watercolour cardstock, which is from Walmart. I've got a Dollar Tree paintbrush that I'm going to use for water, and the Tombow markers that I'm using today, I'm going to try and get these in the colours that I want them in, are 452, 451. Those two will go together. And then I've got my kind of lilac-y shades that I want. So I've got 603 and 553. And then for my yellows, I've got 985 and 991. So it's kind of like orangey and banana there. And then in my pinks, it's 723 and 817. So those are the colours that I'm going to be having my flowers. And as you can see, I've got 8 pens and 4 pieces of cardstock, which means I'm going to try and use a couple of shades. Now, if I bring the flower plates in, you can see there's 2 different sizes. There's a large and a kind of medium. So they're very detailed. I'm just getting them out of the bag. So you can see there, fabulous, fabulous detail. And you get flower centres, or you can use those as individual little blossoms. So I've cut my cardstock to fit, I think, because there's a method in my madness today. So I'm doing 2 lots of the smaller and 2 lots of the larger. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And you can see I've cut these plates as well. There we go. And I just roughly cut my watercolour cardstock out with a pair of scissors. So that's going to go that way around. So 2 lots of those. Now the first thing that I want to do is to get a pen. And I'm going to show you why. So, just grab any old pen that you've got. You've got plenty of space here that it's not going to matter. And if you want to do tonal shades and use just 1 sheet of cardstock like this, you can see that you've got 3. So if you mark them off, if you wanted to, you can put a different colour through each section, pop your dye on once you've coloured it and cut out loads of different colour ones. So I'm not necessarily doing that, but I'm showing you that that's what you can do, because you might want blue, pink and yellow. So just so that you can put the plate down, run it through and get all the colours that you want. Right, I'm using my stamp block for my pen, and today I'm using my squirty bottle, which is from Walmart, and it's just really cheap. And I'm just giving that a spritz of water first of all. Now I don't know if my brush is completely clean. If it's not, you know, it doesn't matter, but I'm just moistening my paper there. There we go. That's wet, and it will buckle because it does buckle when it's wet. Right, so first of all, I'm going to go in with my palest shade of pink. And I'm putting plenty down. I'm picking it up with a larger brush and I'm just putting it on. And we are going to spray this in a minute, just to give it a little bit more dribble. And you want to get different tones, so you want it light in some places and you want it dark in others. Well, I do anyway. And if you can see all of that streakiness there. And do you know what I totally forgot to pick up? Kitchen paper. So I'm going to have to pause and run away in a second just to get that. But I'm just putting down a lot more pink on here. And I do want it all sort of like drippy and imperfect. So I'm just getting that on. Right, so that is my paler shade of pink, and now I want my darker shade of pink, and I'm just going to, because they're close to each other, just scrub those onto the same block. And then, of course, I'm going to be leaving this to dry while I get on with the other ones. Right, so now we're all rippled and dark in some places. I'll just catch my corners. And I'm going to do another little spritzy of water. I'm just going to go and fetch me some kitchen paper and I will be right back. Okay, so I've been and got myself a huge wad of this. I'm just folded it up, and I just want to, you know, because we're thinking pastel-y Easter. So even though, you know, I put down quite a bit, I'm lifting just a little bit off, and that is going to dry. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm doing another large one. I've used my pinks, and I think for my other large one I'm going to go with my lilacs. So I'm going to do these, and then I'm going to run off and do the small ones, which are the yellow and the blue, these that I showed you. So I'll finish those off camera, but I'll just colour this one. So I'm going in with the lighter shade again. Don't worry about having a little bit of pink left on your brush, because it will all be complementary. See, there's just a little bit of pink there. And I don't want to get any lilac on that one, so this is really pale and lovely. I do like these big brushes from Dollar Tree. Covers a lot of ground. Now that is kind of like, I don't know if you can see that, it's pinky purple. I hope you can see it. And I think I'm probably going to need just a little bit more of that, so I'm going to scratch some more down. Right, I'm going to leave that like that, going into my corners so I don't waste any area. And now I'm going in with my darker one. I'm going to put some of that on. And I will put some water down on here because this is drying. I'm just going to give that a little spray and get that colour mingling in. Whoops. And that's really soft and subtle, but I am going to put some more purple. Well, it's more lavender, I think, than purple. I think I might have too much water on my block. Let's get that up. And try again. Well, that's better. A little bit darker. A little bit darker and nice and streaky, which is exactly how I want it. Right, I'm going to do my other two, which are the smaller ones, in the blue and the yellow, and I will be right back. Okay, so those are done, and we've got our pink, we've got our lilac, we've got our blue, and we've got our streaky yellow. So if I just pop those there like that, you can see that we're going to take the large die and we're going to place it onto there, and we're going to cut it out. And then the smaller one is going to go onto here, and we're going to cut it out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm running away to the die cutting machine. I'm going to cut all these and I will be right back. Right, so I have been and die cut, and the pink and the lilac are the larger ones, and the pale blue and the yellow are the smaller ones. And of course you've got centres that match with those as well. So just a very quick way sharing with you today of how to get some nice pastel blossoms with some tonal shade in them. And I am going to be back tomorrow because we're going to be making something quite large, and we're going to be using all of these. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. As usual, all links below. Have an absolutely awesome day. Bye.